Test, test. Can you hear me? Test, test. Okay, good. Thank you for the coverage. Okay, so hello. Um, 1 second. Do. Hello. Okay, yeah, I can hear myself. Okay. Um, hello. How is everybody doing on this fine day? I'm doing pretty good. Not much happening. That's happening with me. So yeah. Um, let's change the screen. Hello, myself. Uh, let's chill audio. Good.
It'll fly about a third of a mile or so away.
You can.
Thanks for talking to us today, Al.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now let's head back to Mission Control for an
Sorry,
update
let
from
me
SWAT
go
team.
ahead and not call.
Hi,
Let
Raquel.
me
So remember
pause
that
and then I'll
command that
come
we
right
sent
back.
at around 11?
Okay, hello, I am back. Okay, so what is happening? Something is so connection is unstable. Um. Ooh. Why is everything so unstable? Okay. This. Okay. 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 Yeah, now it's unstable. Sorry about the technical difficulties. What's it called? Yeah, NASA, YouTube. Ooh, thought that my mouse just got disconnected. Okay, okay, okay. Power off? No, I need you to power on. Share screen. Cruise on over here. Share audio. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties.
Sojourner was able to transform the way that we explore Mars from stationary landers to small roving robots that go from place to place, just like a geologist would on Earth. So once we had that roving capability, then we sent
anything. Why is everything so laggy? I don't know. So I'm just gonna have to wait right here.
With finding evidence of ancient water on Mars. Now they did. They're great explorers, and both of them found ample evidence that water had once existed on the surface of Mars.
But we had the quality to 720p.
We had a question. Another question then was, Mars ever habitable if water had been there? And that's when we sent Curiosity. Now, Curiosity was a major upgrade to our rover fleet. She's the size of a small car. She landed with the sky crane system instead of airbags. And she also carries along her own sample analytics lab, and she's still operating today. And during her exploration, she has found evidence of a habitable environment in an ancient lake bed on Mars. So now we're sending Perseverance. Perseverance is tasked with answering the question and looking for evidence of ancient microbial life on Mars. And in order to do this, she has to be the smartest and most capable rover we've ever sent.
Speaking of Perseverance, can you tell us more about how Perseverance is smarter than its predecessors?
Yes, we've made a lot of upgrades to help her along with the surface mission.
Yeah, so
one of them is for her autonomous traverse capability. When I say autonomous traverse, I mean we tell her where we want her to end up, and she has to figure out the safe and best way to get there. In order to do that, she uses her cameras, algorithms, a computer. So we've given her another computer, we've upgraded the cameras, and we've upgraded the algorithms. Now she drives 3 times as fast as Curiosity could drive in this autonomous traverse mode. In fact, her average daily distance for driving, about 200 meters, is close to the maximum distance any rover has ever driven in a day on Mars. So she's fast. Another thing that we've done, which is the most significant upgrade that we've made, is the sample caching system itself. Curiosity has a robotic arm, like Perseverance has a robotic arm, but on the end of Perseverance's robotic arm is a coring drill that will go and take rock cores, transfer them into sample tubes and into the rover, where another robotic arm will take those tubes, will seal them and store them, and eventually drop them on the surface of Mars for future return to Earth.
Yeah. So if you guys have any
and we also have a social media question about Perseverance. Erica AS on Instagram wants to know what the wheels of the rover are made out of.
Great question. Well, you may think we make them out of some material you've never heard of. It turns out they're made of aluminum. Now, Perseverance's wheels are a little thicker than Curiosity.
Okay, I don't know what keeps
but they're actually both made out of aluminum.
And one more question for you. Can you tell us more about the importance of where you are right now in the building?
I will answer. It is supposed to land at 3:55. I might need to bring you down to 4.
Yes, I am above, on the second floor, above the crew's mission support area.
Good. Wow, why is everything so laggy for once? I don't know why. So laggy, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll have to stop screen sharing so everything can update. And then we can just talk here, and then whenever it gets closer, then I'll put the live stream up. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to put them into the chat, and I will answer. What is it called? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Okay. Literally, if you look up NASA, like normally you see like Food Dragon or something like that, but no, literally if you look up NASA like on Google or anything, you'll just see NASA Perseverance and NASA Mars landing, NASA anything with NASA. So the March 2020 mission will include the Perseverance rover and the Ingenuity helicopter, and something called Moxie. Moxie is a thing that just, you could say, kind of creates oxygen from the carbon dioxide. But let's go. Why is everything going so slow for me? Oh yeah, what I should do is track NASA Perseverance. I'm gonna mute.
A very long time. Why do we need to bring them back?
That's really a great question. We actually have examples of Mars already here on Earth that came here as meteorites, but we don't know exactly where they came from on Mars. And then they also have had to make the trip from Mars to Earth. And so they got altered during that time. And then during their entry and descent into the Earth's atmosphere, that also changes what those rocks are like. So being able to go to Mars and actually collect a sample where we know exactly where it came from, and we know we can preserve it and keep it pristine and carry it all the way back here, this will be incredibly important to help us answer questions about the geologic history of Mars, understanding how it formed and evolved, and also really important questions about whether or not life actually existed on Mars 3.5 billion years ago, and whether that life, if it existed, has been preserved in the surface of Mars.
Now, Lori, these sample tubes that Perseverance is going to be collecting, they're the cleanest things ever created on Earth. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness. We worked so hard. The team here at JPL is absolutely incredible to assure that those sample tubes are incredibly clean. One of the main goals of this mission is to be able to detect if there's actual life that's preserved, ancient life preserved in those rocks, in those samples. And we definitely don't want to be carrying, our own DNA off to Mars and then bring it back here to confuse our scientists when they're trying to study those samples.
Why is everything so laggy?
So it is an incredibly clean set of.
Okay. I'm gonna stop that to let this load. Did it land? I don't know what just happened. Trip to Mars, NASA Mars. Look, literally, it's none. Oh my, I'm so lucky. I don't know why. I don't think that is supposed to say 0 miles / 0 kilometers. Okay, guess so. Guess I landed. But the good thing about the NASA stream compared to the UAE or the Chinese is because there's an actual camera on board Perseverance that will be taking photos and also taking microphone audio. So we'll hear audio of entry, landing, and descent. Entry, descent, and landing. And then we'll also see another one for, what is it called? And just on real life. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to put it in chat and I will answer to the best of my ability. And it is supposed to land at 3:55 p.m. EST. 3:55 p.m. EST. And it is 0 miles from Mars. I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's as correct as it should. And then we also, yes, as she is saying, the first launch from another planet will be occurring because Perseverance is supposed to drop the test tubes that are collecting the samples into or drop onto the ground, and then what is it called? What is it called? I forgot. So yeah, it's supposed to collect the samples, put into test tubes, screw the test tube caps, and then drop the test tubes about 2-3 years into the mission, and then it's supposed to, what is it called? It's supposed to collect, and then the ESA, European Space Agency, in 2026 is supposed to launch a what is it called? In 2026, it will be an ESA probe will be launching, building a little site, and then it's supposed to collect them, put them into the rocket, put them into the you could say Faraday, or put them into that little capsule on top, and then it's supposed to go ahead and launch from another surface, and then we'll see what the difficulties of launching from another surface is. So yeah, and then that'll take 7 minutes more of tail, so we have to wait 14 minutes of tail, but that would be in 6-7 years. Let's just listen. I don't know why it's lagging because I would like to listen to it, but hey, it says no, listen. No. Nope. Not for you. Okay, 1 sec. 1 minute. Okay. I'm just gonna reset it. We'll just be about 3 minutes. We'll just be about 3 minutes late, and then whenever it restarts, then I'll go. Or whenever it ends, then I'll go to live again. But I'll mute so you guys can listen to it.
All right. I'm terrible at pep talks. I think my reputation precedes me there. And look, I know this hasn't been easy, right? I'm not even sure we've even been all in the same room at the same time. I mean, I'm staring at folks across the internet as well. Even now, right? Yeah. Voice check. Okay. I do want to just extend my heartfelt appreciation from the EDL team to the launch cruise team. You've done everything we've asked for, right? I mean, you've battled anomalies, you've dealt with Cephis, you've done everything. You delivered a healthy spacecraft to the place that we want to go, and she's right on target, right? You did the last maneuver literally 2 months ago, right? This is pretty incredible, in my opinion. And she's armed with the right information to help us land. Doing the parameter update last night, we're ready to roll. You've done everything right, and you've put up with us too, right? You've put up with our eccentricities and the things we like to do in EDL land. So I very much appreciate that. So you all should sleep in on Friday, since you guys have earned it. Thanks for literally and figuratively putting us in the right position to succeed. And let's land on Mars together.
Copy EDL phase. And as flight director, I also would like to thank the whole team, cruise ops, EDL ops, EDL team, and the surface ops as well. It's been an amazing journey. I think we all know that. And it's been my honor and pleasure to work with you all side by side. And your tireless efforts and endurance in the face of our challenges has been truly, truly inspiring. So kudos to you. Mission, would you like to say something?
Yeah, just echoing the same words that Al and Magdi have mentioned. You guys have overcome great obstacles in the last 6.5 months, and it started with an earthquake in this room on launch day at L-20 minutes. So I can't be more proud than all of the achievements that you guys have pulled off in the last 6.5 months. Whatever happens in the next hour and a half, you can be proud of the achievements that you've accomplished so far. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. And I only wish that the rest of our team could be sharing this moment with us. This is a very unusual event. This room is only half as full as it would be if we weren't in this pandemic. So missing everybody on the team who's not with us here today. And go EDL.
Welcome to the EDL family.
And with that, Godspeed Perseverance. All right, activity. Go ahead and continue the report.
Sure thing, Flight. We've since completed the EDL start anchor. As I was mentioning, we changed our CBM row to EDL reserve two-way non-coherent. That row reinforces our CBM windows disabled
our Mars rover. Alex Mather, a 7th grader from Springfield, Virginia, submitted the winning essay that was selected by NASA from a field of more than 28,000 entries from K through 12 students in every state in the U.S. Vanessa Rupani's essay for ingenuity.
Okay,
is
cool.
So
You guys
compelling.
can
NASA thought it
hear
would be a perfect name
me.
for the
So
history-making
test.
helicopter, a technology
Oh.
demonstration. Since this all began. Now, what kind of questions have they asked you?
I got some people asking me about what this helicopter is, what this rover is, what are they actually going to do. So I love that this whole experience sparked a greater interest in the mission in my community.
Why do you think it's so important for kids to be inspired by space exploration?
Because space is the future, and kids are the future. Learning about space and watching the story of humanity spread to the stars happen is watching the future happen and seeing history unfold.
The best way to keep our home safe and protect our planet is to learn from the worlds around it. So I think it's really important for the next generation of scientists to be engaged in that type of exploration to make our home the best place it can be.
Now, speaking of the future, what has your life been like since naming the rover and helicopter? Has it sparked any future aspirations for the two of you?
Oh man, I am currently applying to a science and technology school for high school. Hoping for a NASA internship sometime along the way, with my ultimate goal being to join the incredible team of scientists and engineers who are about to make this happen.
This whole experience has definitely shown me that I want to go into the space industry. I came home from Florida, did all my college applications, and checked aerospace engineering on all the boxes. I mean, the whole time we were there, I was thinking, why would anyone want to do anything else?
So true. And the best of luck to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Alex and Vanessa.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Now, your essays, as well as the top 155 finalist essays, are riding on the Perseverance rover, along with nearly 11 million of the names from all over the world that were submitted before launch. And if you miss the chance to get your name on Perseverance, then you will get another chance to reserve a spot on the next mission to Mars. So make sure that you sign up now at mars.nasa.gov for your boarding pass.
I signed up for
as virtual celebrations are happening all over the globe. Let's take a look at some of your submissions on our social channels, showing us how you're celebrating the Perseverance landing right now. And remember to hashtag countdown to Mars and send those in. We would love to show them off. Look at these kids. They are getting so excited. Everyone's watching it. A lot of classrooms are watching it. And great. Someone did a Lego version of Perseverance,
really cool.
Which is awesome. It looks fantastic. We love getting all your pictures out there. We've gotten a lot of artwork from kids, which has been great. I know I have a 9-year-old John at home, and he loves to draw the rover. And look at that. That is awesome. That's better than anything I could bake. That's for sure. Perseverance in a cake. That looks so great. Delicious. I want to get into that.
So how far away is
Another great send-in from David Bowie Reel.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for your submissions. Remember, hashtag countdown to Mars. We love to see how you're celebrating. Now, you might know our next guest from shows like Emily's One.
But who? What? 1.1 million people are watching. What just happened?
We had a series of missions that had failures. The Ranger program in the early 1960s, one after another, failed. And what happened was, one day, a fellow by the name of Dick Wallace on Ranger number 7 the 7th and 10th,
don't know.
decided to bring Peanuts to the ops area just before the launch, and guess
Okay.
what? That mission worked.
So yeah,
now,
if you
we're
guys
not
have
supposed
any
to be too
questions, make sure to put it
superstitious. We're
into the
engineers and
chat,
scientists after all.
which I think
But we
is
love
this
tradition,
way.
and ever since then, before launch and
think
before
so,
critical
or
events
this
like
way.
inter-descent
I don't
landing,
know.
we have brought out Peanuts and shared
This
them with the
way's
team.
right.
And it's been really a
Oh,
wonderful little
no,
experience.
this way's left,
and so
and
this is
way's
something
right.
we'll do. We're doing right now, and it's something that we just can't help ourselves. It's just part of the experience.
Why do they want
well,
peanuts?
speaking of the experience, how did the Perseverance team keep the tradition alive this year?
Well, this year we're passed out little packets of peanuts to the team, and they can sneak one peanut in their mouth as part of to keep the tradition alive. But this is part of the COVID experience, but we can't leave this one undone. So this is what we're doing, and this is going to help us land safely.
All right, thanks, Rob. I have some questions for you a little later on, but we're heading back to Swati Mohan, who is part of the landing team. She'll be calling out key milestone and events as they happen from Mission Control. So let's listen in right now.
Also, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. I create
giving
last minute videos. Anyway,
confirmation of what will be happening.
I also create
in the upcoming
mental weather videos around the US.
And this will allow us to steer our trajectory as we make our way through the atmosphere. This is one of the things that allowed MSL, the Curiosity rover, to land where it did. And we're depending on the same type of entry guidance this time around to help get us very close to our target. As we make our way through entry, finish our guided entry profile, we'll do a maneuver called heading alignment, where we point toward the target and get ready to deploy the parachute. But before we deploy the parachute, we need to get rid of a set of balance masses that have been giving us a center of gravity, or CG offset, throughout the guided entry phase. So these are called the entry balance masses. We also call this maneuver SUFR, S-U-F-R, or straighten up and fly right. So we'll go ahead and eject those masses when we get a trigger from the GNC system telling us that we're at the appropriate range to the target to do so. As soon as we deploy those, we will no longer have a CG offset, and we'll be ready to deploy the parachute 17 seconds later.
Right where the Perseverance team is sitting now, what's in store for them as we approach landing?
I'm going to hold here for EDL prep as we're about to start that anchor.
Copy phase 2. And activity, please call that out when it's ready. Copy flight.
Make the announcement now. Okay. Magnus make the announcement that.
So yeah, I'll keep going off and on for any pauses
right.
or talks
now,
that
Rob,
they need
you've
to
been right
do.
where the Perseverance team is sitting now. What's in
so what I
store for
was
them
saying
as we approach
is,
landing?
if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like,
This is the nail
subscribe,
biting time.
and hit that notification bell.
Fortunately, we still have ones and zeros coming, but very soon,
video.
as we approach cruise stage
I
separation,
do
the transmitter on this rover that we've been using all the way to get to Mars is going to be turned off.
Only if it's a major one.
So
I do tropical systems.
and we will lose the ability to see ones and zeros. But the good thing is, once the cruise stage is gone, there's another radio that will continue transmitting a tone, so that like a flashlight that will allow us to see, at least see that the vehicle is still on, and that color of that flashlight tells us a little bit what state the rover's in. But soon after that, it won't be very long before we'll be able to hear more ones and zeros coming from the spacecraft.
Hey, why not
So this is a really
just do
exciting time, and it's just important to remind people this is there's a lot that can go wrong in a day like today. There are thousands of things that have to go right.
That is,
we had success in the past landing on Mars. You think it gets easier, but it really doesn't. Why is it still so difficult?
Well,
Yeah.
it's because it's
So
involved
yeah, if you
thousands
guys
and
have any
thousands of things, hundreds
questions,
of
make sure
thousands of
to
lines
leave
of
it
code.
into
We,
the
there's
chat.
there's
Also, we
79
reached 1
pyrotechnic devices.
hour.
Each have to work
Woohoo!
perfectly.
Yay!
One
I
critical
don't know
wire
how
short
it
or
went
one
from
key
58
thing
minutes to
mechanism
an
that doesn't
hour.
work or
1
if it
minute?
breaks, and it's
I
mission
think
over.
there was
And
a
so it's
really big lag
and so
spike.
and
Or
it's
that
very easy.
volley,
We're human beings. We're not perfect. Mistakes can be made. We count on each other
If
to
there's a
find
mistake,
our own
like
mistakes,
like
and
the
we
parachute, then
work
I would
very
be
hard
really sad because
to
I
learn
really
from
want
mistakes of the
this
past.
thing
We've had many failures. Remind people, roughly
whatever
half,
it's called.
around half of the missions to Mars over history have failed.
But yeah.
And so that can happen today too. Even though we've had a nice, wonderful string of successes in the United States, it's still still a bit of a gamble. A gamble that we have hoped that we have erred on the side of luck, and we've stacked the dice and loaded the dice to make this thing succeed. But if we do fail, and something bad happens today, I can tell you we're going to learn it. We'll have the data that tell us what happened. We'll know why. We'll figure it out. And if we are allowed, we will pick ourselves up and get us back on the horse. And if Congress and NASA allow, we will try again. As we always do, we will learn from our mistakes.
And what are the possible scenarios we could be looking at today?
Well, there's things like one of the key stressful elements for all of us is parachute inflation. But just even separating from the cruise stage is a pretty major event. Lots of devices have to work properly. Certainly, the heat shield separation, getting the descent engine started. There's no less than 16 rocket motors that have to work. 8 to control during entry, another 8 to control during landing.
It's supposed to land.
It's a lot of stuff, and it all has to work. And guess what? We haven't done this before with this vehicle ever. This is its first attempt to actually land. We can't try this on Earth. We can't do. We don't have test pilots to try it out on this planet before the big show. So this vehicle is doing it for the first time. We've done the best testing we can do in bits and pieces.
If that
but
makes any sense,
it's as best
the
as
main
we can do.
reason is
And
because
I think our team is up to it.
we don't have enough
this team
space
is the
to
best,
try it.
diverse, intelligent, amazing group of people. People
Also,
from all over the world who worked on this, not just here in California, but all over NASA. Contributors from aerospace, universities, countries around the world. It is just an incredible, remarkable engineering achievement, and I am just so proud of this team.
Down to
thanks, Rob. Now let's listen back into mission control.
Not really make the parachutes that useful because
about 14 minutes from entry interface.
14 minutes.
The vehicle is currently preparing the heat rejection system that has kept the thermal system cool inside the air shell for about the last 6 months. This will allow the spacecraft to more easily cut the line in upcoming cruise stage separation, which is under 4 minutes now.
We have now enabled the Rover Pyro bus.
That's the pyrotechnic system that's
we are powering off the cruise stage devices.
And these are the things in the cruise stage that we no longer need. With the pyrotechnic system working, we can explode the devices.
The vehicle is preparing for the upcoming cruise stage separation in about 3 minutes 15 seconds by powering off all the devices on the cruise stage in order that they can be safe once the cruise stage is jettisoned.
Yeah, this cruise stage has been very reliable.
Hello,
we are firing our first pyros to vent the HRS liquid and gas.
How are you doing?
This has been the coolant that's kept the vehicle from getting too hot on the way to Mars. We have to vent it into space.
Normally, I do live streams on the.
And this is one of the first major events that take place as part of
human launches, but due to that, I already did a live stream on this.
We will see the next
before
anchor
I
in
made the decision to do only launches or only human launches.
There are currently 12 and a half minutes from entry interface. We are coming upon cruise stage separation in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
So I'll be doing it for this one, but for the next Mars.
Okay, we're just waiting. The Rover is completely in charge. It's doing all the things we taught it how to do. It's all built into the software. We've tested it over and over and over again. This team has spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, testing this thing for years, and so this is really the culmination of all that work. So this vehicle is getting ready to push that cruise stage away. Once it gets pushed away,
if you guys have any
the entry
questions,
system,
make sure
the
to
Rover
put it
inside, with the Rover still in charge, is going to get ready to take the vehicle, turn it to the right orientation, and aim it to Mars, and prepare for entering the atmosphere.
And yeah,
this won't be long. Be prepared for this event.
We're about a minute and a half from the stage separation, about 11 minutes, 20 seconds from entry interface.
Okay,
that's
so
good news.
It's about 10 minutes from cruise stage separation till entering the top of the atmosphere.
I do
from then
have to
and out,
good
things
news,
happen
good news.
fast.
Telemetry will have stopped.
Stage
Telecom is confirming that the spacecraft has switched to broadcasting tones. These tones are received directly from Perseverance, but have very limited information content. We won't receive real-time information until about 9-10 minutes from now, once the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter starts relaying information from Perseverance. We are under a minute from cruise stage separation, about 10.5 minutes from entry interface.
It's getting exciting. I have to admit, I am quite anxious.
Sorry if you hear
but
any
very hopeful
background
this
noise.
do what we asked
You're seeing the heartbeat tones.
Okay, that means that there's no more ones and zeros coming. It's just the vehicle telling us it's still alive.
We're continuing to receive tones from Perseverance, standing by for cruise stage separation. We have indication that cruise stage separation has been confirmed by the spacecraft.
We're off on a good start.
In about 1 minute, Perseverance's landing software will wake up and begin the final preparations for entry. The first action it will do is to fire warm-up pulses with its entry thrusters. These pulses ensure that the spacecraft gets the thrust that it wants during entry interface. We're about 9 minutes from entry interface.
Okay, so now the vehicle's on its own. It's turning itself into the direction of facing the heat shield toward Mars, and will eventually hitting the top of the atmosphere. We're not far away. This is going to go very quickly from here on out.
That's confirmation that we got shadowed by the cruise stage as it passed through our beam to the Earth.
Telecom indicated actually that we could see a signal that the cruise stage went between the Perseverance entry capsule and Earth. So we saw a little blip, the data stream indicating the cruise stage separation. We have confirmation that the vehicle has started warming up those entry thrusters. Warm-up pulses have begun. At this point, the spacecraft is trying to stop its spin from the cruise 2 revolutions per minute down to 0, and then will turn to its desired orientation from entry. It will separate the 2 balance masses that has kept it balanced during all of cruise. This will allow the entry capsule to have lift when it enters the atmosphere. We have confirmation that the spacecraft has turned to the desired entry attitude. We're about 7.5 minutes from entry interface.
Okay, the vehicle is pointed in the right direction. Thrusters are warmed up and doing their job. And now we've spun down from 2 revolutions per minute that the vehicle had the whole way to Mars. It's a spin stabilized spacecraft. And then from here on out, it's going to just be a bullet, and it's going to control its orientation and attitude.
It's 7 minutes 30 seconds, as you see in the bottom right-hand
carrier
corner.
We're DTE from Radio
And
5
I will
from
see,
Green Bank.
and
reports
it is
aerial
supposed to
You see the
land
carrier
in
in the downlink?
14 minutes at 3:55. I saw from one website, but I didn't see
Flight
from
level 1.
NASA. So
We are continuing
I
to
don't
wait for entry interface.
know.
We're about 6 minutes and 45 seconds from entry
Why is
interface.
this
We have
seems so
confirmation from
stressful
Greenback
from
that they are
us
receiving
for
direct
seeing
Earth
for them.
telemetry via that
I don't know
path.
why.
The
But it's
spacecraft
extremely
Perseverance is
strange.
currently transmitting heartbeat tones. These tones indicate that Perseverance is operating normally and has nothing significant to report.
Yeah,
Just
if you
as
guys
expected.
have
We're currently just over 6 minutes from entry interface.
any questions or anything, make sure to put that into the chat. And I will answer.
Okay.
I will
Now
answer
we
them
wait.
to the best of my ability.
As soon as we get to the top of the atmosphere, it'll be very quickly, which is the entry point. It won't be very long before the atmosphere will start getting thicker and thicker, going very quickly at a fairly steep angle of 15 degrees into the
First thing,
atmosphere,
it
and it
isn't
starts to slow
supposed
down.
to land fully like
we're about
straight
5.5
right
minutes
on.
from entry interface.
So let's say that's going to make
We're still receiving heartbeat tones.
landing.
We expect to
top.
continue receiving heartbeat tones until about
really
5
want to
minutes
say
after
landfall,
entry.
but I know that
At that
it
time,
isn't
Perseverance
but it's
will be
supposed to
no
get
longer in
entry.
view of our
Let's say
antennas
that
here
it
on
gets
Earth.
entry on top.
About
You
90
don't want
seconds
it
prior
to
to
go
entry,
straight
the
down
Mars
because
Reconnaissance
the
Orbiter
heat
should
shield is
begin
just going to
receiving
shred
telemetry
it.
from Perseverance
You don't want it
and
to
streaming it to Earth in near
have
real
it
time.
as much, but
There
you want
are
it to
a
be
few
at
expected
about
short
45-degree
outages,
angle,
such
so
as
it
when we
goes
have
down.
a plasma
And
blackout
you
or
don't want
when
it
we
to
enter
be
the peak
straight
heating
up because
phase.
that's just going to
Aside from these
bounce off
outages
and then
caused
go
by the
into
plasma
Jupiter.
blackout, antenna
Or
switching,
go
or high
some
dynamic
other
events,
place.
spacecraft events, we should have telemetry until about 90 seconds after landing. A plasma blackout is when the signal from Perseverance isn't strong enough to make it through the superheated, super fast air flowing around the spacecraft all the way down to Earth. Once the temperature drops below that peak heating, we do reacquire the signal from Perseverance. We are currently about 4.5 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance continues to report heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
Okay, what we're looking for now is Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should be in view soon of our vehicle and be able to listen to ones and zeros coming from a separate radio that's really designed to talk between spacecraft.
MRO reports the Electra radio is powered on, ready to receive signals from the lander.
Okay, MRO is ready and able and waiting for to hear from our rover.
Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has reported that it's ready to receive the signals from Perseverance. It should be in a few minutes here. We're just
Flight level 1.
There is atmospheric
from
entry in
interface.
4 minutes and 10 seconds.
We don't need these ones and zeros, as Swati said, but to land safely, but we really need it for our own health and well-being today to keep our nerves in control. But
around this time, a second spacecraft, Maven, should begin picking up telemetry from Perseverance and will continue to record that telemetry until several minutes post-landing. We won't get that data for several hours after landing as it's being recorded and then will be forwarded to Earth later. We are continuing to receive heartbeat tones, indicating that everything is nominal. We're currently at about 3 minutes until entry interface.
okay. Very soon we'll be getting ones and zeros, I hope, from our radio on the rover. The entry interface is nothing more than just an arbitrary place in the sky that we've defined to be above the atmosphere.
Atmospheric
But from that point
entry
on,
in 3 minutes.
there's definitely atmosphere, and above it there isn't.
We are 2 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance is to transmit heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
So the tones can tell us whether something's bad or not is happening. So far the heartbeat is doing well. So the vehicle thinks it's in good shape to land, which is a great sign.
We're just under 2 minutes from entry interface. As it gets closer to Mars, Perseverance is actually being pulled in by gravity and accelerating. By the time Perseverance reaches entry interface point, she should be going just under 5.4 kilometers per second. We're at about 90 seconds from entry interface and standing by for Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to pick up the telemetry.
So the entire EDL, or entry, descent, and landing, will be what is it called?
We're 1 minute from entry interface.
Will be 21 full minutes after. I don't know what just happened there, but after this, bless you, doggo. After the atmospheric entry, which will be at 40 minutes.
The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter is now relaying data from Perseverance. We're about 30 seconds from entry interface. Perseverance is going about 5.2 kilometers per second and is about 190 kilometers altitude above the surface of Mars.
Confirm your jet data flow.
About seconds from entry interface. 5.3 kilometers per second and an altitude of about 150 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Oh, one. Okay, something happening. Where do you find that? Okay, JPL. Okay, I'm gonna go look at JPL's website.
Entry interface. Perseverance is currently going 5.3 kilometers per second at an altitude of about 120 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
You can't see it. JPL Mars
The
level
ship is now waiting until it begins feeling the atmosphere of Mars slow it down. Once there is enough atmosphere, it will start controlling its path to the landing target. Navigation is also confirming that we can see a little bit of that slowdown of the atmosphere on the Perseverance entry capsule.
Okay, I can't really find it, but
our current velocity is about 5.36 kilometers per second and an altitude of about 67 kilometers from the surface.
How they do like that panning?
We are probably seeing MRO plasma blackout at this point.
What that be saying? Myself.
The vehicle should be doing its turns right now.
MRO has lost lock.
Lost locks? What does lost locks mean?
We have indications that Perseverance is now performing bank reversals in the atmosphere. These are the steps in order to control its distance to the landing target. Perseverance has just passed through the point of maximum deceleration and has indicated that it felt approximately 10 Earth Gs of deceleration.
MRO has lock again.
10 Earth Gs. I just want to say, so if you weigh
we saw a small
100
outage,
pounds
of the UHF telemetry from Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter during that heating phase, likely caused by the plasma blackout. Perseverance is still continuing to perform bank reversals
and I just want
in
to
the
say the
atmosphere to
heaviest person
control
on record, I think, was
distance to the landing
1,200
target.
pounds. So if you put that into perspective, that person at 10 Gs would be feeling 12,000 pounds. That's insanity.
Perseverance is going about 1 kilometer per second
because it's taking about like
altitude of about
24
16 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have entered heading alignment which means Perseverance is no longer trying to control the distance to Mars, to the target on Mars, but instead is flying straight to the target.
Ooh, oof. That's something.
Parachute.
Yeah, so it looks like 2.71. Oh. So you'll be 271 pounds if you're a 100 person.
Our current velocity is about 550 meters per second at an altitude of about 15 kilometers from the surface.
239 pounds. Why did that person just stare up into space?
MRO's reporting good telemetry log.
I don't know.
We are coming upon the straighten up.
I don't know, Coach.
We are starting the straighten up and fly right maneuver, where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground.
I will be live streaming for about 45
minutes. The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed, and we are seeing significant deceleration in the velocity. Our current velocity is 440 meters per second at an altitude of about 12 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
And then the parachutes are supposed to go out, and then once again, the heat shield is supposed to.
Perseverance is now slowed to subsonic speeds, and the heat shield has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity is 145 meters per second at an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
Acceleration is minus 3.49 meters per second. I don't think that's supposed to be that. I think it's supposed to be 3.49. But 3.49 meters per second is about 9 feet per second. 9.9 feet.
Now has radar lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second, 6.6 kilometers of the surface. Perseverance is continuing to descend on the parachute. We are coming up on the initialization of terrain relative navigation and subsequently the timing of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers.
Look at his fist. His fist is like...
We have confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution and part of terrain relative navigation.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
We have timing of the landing engines.
It is landing slowly but surely.
83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have confirmation that the back shell has separated. We are currently performing the divert maneuver. Current velocity is about 75 meters per second at an altitude of about a kilometer off the surface of Mars.
Here in Safety Bravo.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars.
Oh my gosh. It's getting so close. Oh my gosh.
We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct to Earth tones.
Ah.
As expected. As expected.
Sky crane maneuver has started.
Okay.
About 20 meters off the surface.
That's 60 feet.
We're getting signals from MRO.
UHF is good.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance.
Let's go! Perseverance touchdown! Confirmed! And it did not explode!
The stage has flown away to a safe distance. Perseverance is continuing to transmit direct through Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to Earth.
Let's go! That's amazing. Okay, and then soon enough we'll be getting data from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbital with wind.
Small reports, they're still getting telemetry from the lander.
With
All right, all
what is it called?
We got it.
Touchdown confirmed. We're gonna wait for the images.
And then images.
This is so
Sorry,
exciting.
and the microphone.
The team is beside themselves. It's so surreal. Stay tuned. We might get some pictures.
Great.
It landed.
So much has been riding on this.
Yeah, we just heard the news that Perseverance is alive on the surface of
It's
Mars.
alive. It didn't die. That's good news.
Flight.
It didn't go
We've seen the
kaboom.
completion of EDL 3000.
But
Copy activity.
I remember
That is
hearing
as
this
expected.
earlier on the stream that 50% of all landers, rovers type thing
Emerald still
jiggles
seeing a strong signal from the
on
lander.
Mars failed. And this brings the thing up to something. I don't know. Maybe 54, maybe 80, maybe 51, maybe 50.
We've just heard the news that Perseverance is alive on the surface of Mars. Congratulations to the mission. And looks like we have some more news in. It looks like we're getting the first image.
There's an image.
Here, take a look at the first image.
There's an image. Zoom into the image.
OL3, I have the target point on the map when you are ready. We are ready, OL3. Go for it.
Stop it! I can't see the image.
Flight, I'll be moving in, showing you the safe zone that we've landed in.
Oh, that's sick! That looks so cool. Wow, that's
image from Perseverance
amazing.
on the surface of Mars.
So
Now,
that
it
is
comes
just
from
like
the
Cradle
engineering
with the
cameras,
Perseverance
known as the
logo
hazard
on it.
camera. This
That
camera
you
is
see that
mainly used to help the
shadow
rover
out.
drive safely around Mars, and we will get higher resolution photos later in the day.
And then we'll get high resolution photos and color photos. Yes, they slapped on a color camera to it. Oh, that's amazing.
Amazing.
That's so pretty. Yeah, woohoo! Yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to put it into the chat. But wow, that is so pretty. I just want to say that right out there. That is extremely pretty. Good job. Let's go. Good thing nothing bad happened to it. And yeah.
You did. You did.
How long is the Perseverance
You did. You
rover
led the team.
supposed
You made it
to
happen.
live?
Congratulations.
I think it's about 20 years. So when I'm an age, unknown age, I don't know what age I'd be, it is supposed to fail because they only slapped a nuclear reactor on it. But what they could do is whenever like people go onto there,
We
they
just
could
got
like
our second image in. Our second image is in.
Okay, these we have a camera in the front and rear of the spacecraft. They're near the ground, so these are pretty close. You can see the wheels there, and they're a little dirty because we've got glass covers over these cameras. But we took these seconds after landing, so there's still dust in the air from our landing event. So this is happening this happened just seconds ago, just arrived, and this is really amazing. And we even know where we landed. This is the most amazing thing. The vehicle has told us where it's landed because we figured it out.
Of course.
This is a sign.
That just
NASA
makes
works.
sense.
NASA works. And when we put our arms together and our hands together and our brains together, we can succeed. This is what NASA does. This is what we can do as a country. On all of the problems we have, we need to work together to do these kinds of things and make success happen.
Oh, that's the same. I don't see the wheels on that picture. Don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. Oh.
And joining us now is the acting administrator of NASA, Steve Jurczyk. Steve, welcome and congratulations.
Hey, thank you. What an amazing day.
And how does it feel to have another rover on Mars?
It's amazing. To have Perseverance join Curiosity
so
on Mars,
the acting NASA
what just a credit to the team. I mean, just what an amazing team to work through all the adversity that goes and all the challenges that go with landing a rover on Mars, plus the challenges of COVID and just an amazing accomplishment.
And
what does this mean for NASA and its future plans?
So for robotic exploration, every time we execute a mission with new instruments, we discover new things and things we never thought we would discover. So that always informs our future robotic missions, both landers, rovers, and orbiters. This mission also has technology on it. One of the cool things is the Ingenuity helicopter.
That's amazing.
It's an experiment on this mission, but if it's successful, we can use it as an observation, science observation platform by putting instruments on it, and also use it as a scout for future rover missions. And then just the intercept and landing capability. It'll allow us to land more larger, more ambitious robots on the surface of Mars. And then for human exploration, we have the Mars Intercept and Landing Instrumentation, which is going to give us EDL information. We have the Mars Environmental Dynamics Analyzer. It's going to give us properties, size and properties of dust particles, because when we send people, we're going to have to deal with that dust.
If nothing comes up within the next
this is just an incredible mission because of the science and the technology, and then caching samples for a Mars sample return mission.
If any questions,
that will be an amazing mission. The first round trip to Mars and back, and bringing those samples cached by Perseverance back to Earth to examine with state-of-the-art equipment in our laboratories here on Earth.
We have so much to look forward to. And we also have a student question coming in from Landon. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Landon Applegate. I'm in 6th grade and I'm going to Academy for Academic Excellence. And my question is, do you think we could get resources from Mars to help on future missions or even as like a launching point?
Great question, Landon. Actually, we have an experiment called the Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment, or MOXIE, and it's going to demonstrate generating oxygen from atmospheric CO2, and that could help generate breathable oxygen, and even if we can liquefy it, oxidizer for propulsion systems. So that's a tech demo on Perseverance. And then we're going to continue to characterize the frozen water on and below the surface of Mars, and eventually try to figure out how to extract that water from the Martian soil, or what we call regolith. And then we can use that for potable water and also break it down into oxygen and hydrogen for rocket fuel. So absolutely, we're going to try to eventually figure out how to live off the land to support human missions to Mars.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, Steve.
Thank you.
And now that Perseverance has safely touched down on Mars, let's learn more about what's in store for the rover. Joining us now is Surface Mission Manager Jessica Samuels. Jessica, your surface operations team has now taken over. What are they doing now?
Yes. Hi, Raquel. We are so excited here in the Surface Mission Support area. the team will do a handover with the entry, descent, landing team and pass any critical information. And then this team behind us will be the team that does the health and safety assessments daily as we progress on this mission.
And what do the upcoming weeks look like for your team?
So as we enter Mars time now, the commanding team will be working overnight while the rover is asleep so that we can perform the initial checkouts of our key rover functions and our science instruments. And we have to do this all in time for the regularly scheduled communication pass, which happens in the morning. And so we will be working around the clock, making sure that Perseverance is healthy, and we will begin this exciting adventure.
And can you tell me, what's it like living on Mars time?
It's a little bit like constantly flying and changing your time zone. The rover on Earth, the rover wakes up at the same time every day, but on Earth that's 40 minutes later. So the team is going to be shifting our work schedule by 40 minutes as we come into work over the next few weeks.
But
it'll be exciting and some late nights, but we're also excited and we can't wait.
It's a whole new lifestyle.
Yes.
And we also have a student question for you. This is Sophia's video.
Hi, my name is Sophia Lopez, and my question for NASA is, how's Perseverance gonna survive? And here's a drawing that I made from Perseverance, thinking about Earth.
My gosh, I can't
Thank
think.
you.
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
Sophia, Perseverance survives with a power source that charges its batteries overnight while it sleeps, and it keeps heaters on so that all of our critical electronics can stay warm, as well as our mechanism. But it's really survived by the team that performs the health and safety assessments every day and communicates with the rover and makes sure that she's doing okay.
Well, thanks for your time, Jessica, and good luck living on Mars time.
Thank you. It should be fun.
Bye.
Let's head back to Marina as she